This video will introduce some more concepts and applications from the topics in the essential video. The major points will be how to use steady aim for zoning and tie it in with the rest of your neutral, how to use steady aim for pressure, how to use meter for better mix-ups, and the major pieces of his combo theory to convert every hit. To start off, we'll add a few new concepts for steady aim. Steady aim canceling by pressing back and S after a guard crush shot can be up to plus 19 with perfect timing, but maybe a frame or two less plus in practice. But without guard crush, it's only around plus 11, so it can be make or break when it comes to pressure or mix-ups. And mixing and not shooting at all will be a useful mind game, especially when you're lower on concentration. Some ways to apply curse are after wall splat or after a space 2k2d. Doing it at the end of block strings will at least space you out, but can hit them if you're already far. Doing steady aim shot into curse in the mid-range is good too. And the best way to keep zoning going is doing curse after they get hit by a steady aim shot. 5k success is the next step up as a cancel from 5k for neutral. It gives you better combos for corner carry and is a safer buffer since you don't pull the gun out. 2k's low profile can be used against characters with high hitting jump-ins, but make sure to practice this before bringing it to matches. And it can be used to go under certain follow-ups like Soul's Bandit Revolver. If used right, this can lead to some optimal punishes. I'll talk more about this in the combo section, but for 2S on counter hit, be ready to confirm into steady aim shot instead of simply 2 regular 5/8 shots. Converting with a reload is optimal, but to make it easier, you can 4S to cancel steady aim to run up. This works even against non-counter hit. You're free to mix up between using steady aim or not in neutral, but try to work in steady aim more if you can. Another option to approach is 2S shot into Wild Assault. This leads to easy plus frames and conversions, and can even lead to a 50-50 with a neutral jump cancel. If you jump forwards, you'll go too far. It's about time to introduce how zoning works. Your top priority is to get them cursed, and anytime you hit them with a steady aim shot, you cancel into curse, and then focus to get them full screen while you're ready to zone again. If they're not cursed, you can force it by doing steady aim shot into curse with 6p, then do a follow-up 5/8 shot into focus. Since their best option against curse is to jump, they may be there more often to preemptively avoid it, but doing the sequence forces them to get hit by curse regardless. The main problem is that you're down 2 bullets and minus 27. If you know they're scared of the follow-up shot, you can sometimes get away without using the second bullet, but you'll be almost minus 50. Without curse, if you want to do a guard crush shot, there's a lot of startup making it impractical to loop. If you just want it to hit, it would take roughly 27 frames depending on the RNG. With curse, guard crush loops are still impractical because the gap between the shots is big enough to dash block in quickly. But the guard crush can be useful against people who like to jump. And the number one rule as someone fighting Happy Chaos is that you should never jump when cursed. If they jump, this is the best way for you to get a free guard crush shot, sending them back further while you reload, throw curse, and focus while being less negative than normal. Normally a guard crush shot into focus is about -10, but if they're in the air, this can be down to -3. And if you think they'll react to curse by air dashing or running up, dash 6S becomes a nice preemptive callout. But once you have them block curse and you're in the mid-range, cancel with 4S and dash 6S is a nice way to close the distance. If you're further away, steady aim shot into 4S, then steady aim shot again is the fastest way to keep the pressure up, but takes more bullets, so mix this in with reloading and dashing in. When they're scared to move, make sure to dash in with 5H and dash jump like I mentioned in the essentials section. For a few more defensive tips, mashing with 2p is better, and 2p into gunshot to set up a roll still gives the cross throw. On top of FDing into jumping, challenge with 2S into shots, and work on IBFDing to open up new punishes. While 2k shot is a very powerful mix-up option even used by the best Happy Chaos players, many of them also do 2k success since it leads to a much better combo on hit and leads into close range pressure on block. Since 6S has a lot of recovery, even doing a delayed 5/8 shot will leave you not very plus. To make up for this, do the 5/8 shot into steady aim and do a guard crush shot. Start by learning how late you can do 6S into 5H while keeping it a true block string. The later you do the 5H, the smaller the gap, so it's important to learn this. I start holding H as soon as I input 6S and just focus on when to release it. Then start to add in the steady aim input, don't worry about the timing on the second shot yet, just get used to these inputs. And once you input steady aim, start to hold 5H again to get the next shot ready. If you haven't already practiced it, work on steady aim into guard crush shot immediately into reload by just doing 2p. Then put it all together and start to fine tune the timings on the two shots since they're the major make or break points in the string. From the start, 2k success has a gap that on trade can lead to a full combo with steady aim shots or regular 5/8 shots depending on what you like. If you're going for the guard crush shot, there will always be a gap between the two shots, but if you time it right, you'll either trade or beat their mash. This is the goal, but it's a very tight window since there's no buffer for leeway. It simply relies on you releasing at the right time with no good indicators. Don't get too caught up on trying to get this consistently, just work on getting close, especially since most people won't be mashing anyways. You just don't want to be leaving any bigger gaps than you need to. Since there will always be that gap, it's vulnerable to reversals, but you can roll through DPs or just not do the steady aim. That gap does also leave room for them to backdash, but depending on how you time the shots, it can easily blow them up for this, but it comes down to the timing for beating backdash loses to mashing and vice versa. You can do this block string for close/6 S2 and restart the pressure with super focus into 5k success. Roll can be set up easily for moves like 2D, 6S, 6k, and even just looping roll into another one. The timing is quite hard, but you can beat throw mashes from 2D and 6S if you time the shot right, and this is something I think is worth practicing. FD can make it more difficult, like dash up close slash into roll works, but from a stationary close slash, it won't cross up. Spaced out 2Ks won't unless there's a lot of dash momentum, and 2K 6S being FD'd will practically never cross up. It is possible that 2K is so spaced out that a throw mash will whiff since you're not close enough. But doing 2K into shot then dash roll can cross up at the risk of a much larger gap, so make sure to mix in more frame traps. 2K and 5K into 6K has a 5-frame gap that can combo on trade if you're ready for it. Since it's a 5-frame gap, if you're closer it can be thrown, but it's not very likely that you'd even try. 2K and 5K counter hit into 6K does combo, so it can be used in stagger pressure, just keep the risks in mind. When they're cursed, steady aim shot into 4S then dashing shots lets you approach into an immediate mix-up situation. It opens up tap dust, roll through cross-up, deep dash throw, and dash slow. If you're low on resources, you can just end with anything into curse to retreat and set up your advantage again. Everything before this is good to know and will help your offense a lot, but the crux of at least my offensive structure is the IED BRC mix-up. Do close slash IED BRC into JS, then a microdash. For an overhead, do a rising J2K, or in this case a rising J3K. With a low you have a few options, but I find 6K to be the most visually tricky as it's a slower standing low to pair with a dash jump. But 2D is more optimal both combo and pressure-wise, so choose what works best for you. The thing that makes this extra strong is that it gives you an overhead option that didn't use any air actions, letting you set up a second high-low mix-up if they block the first one. Just do air backdash JS for the overhead, or empty land 2K and cover yourself with 5/8 shots so they have to block it. It even works against FD, just really make sure you do the microdash or the rising overhead may whiff. It gives nice easy conversions on both hits while being an incredibly effective mix-up. Something just for fun is setting up the high-low and doing steady aim into roll just to throw them off. You can do it from the 6K too if you want it. It works a lot, but it really is just better to go for the high-low. If you end up having enough momentum to go past them, air backdash JD for the overhead. For 2D, continue pressures or combos with the guard crush shot. This will even let you pop them up high enough to run under and get a more optimal combo. A similar way to do this is to dash cancel close slash or 5K, then fast RC up into J3K. It's mostly the same, just do fast forward RC into 6K or 2D for the low. And since you get the momentum for the dash cancel, you don't need to think about microdashing against FD. And from the overhead, it's more likely to go past them after the J3K, so you can do an air dash back to add another layer. Even if they somehow block 2 layers, you can always throw in a roll for a cross-up or just continue normal pressure. These mix-ups work the same in the corner, just no chance for a cross-up. And like I said, this can be done from 5K even spaced out. Even YRC can be used to set up a mix-up. Just do 5K dash cancel shot into close slash, then jump into the standard high-low. Or go for a roll cross-up, tap dust or throw. And now that you should have down the close slash 6K 236S block string loop and the shot into guard crush shot block string, you can use either to loop plus frames to build enough meter for super focus to get even more plus frames. And remember, at any point you can force a strike throw or a high-low. For a tap dust, if you're running low on resources or want a more optimal combo, fast dash RC into 236S. This will give you a nice bulletless launcher while leaving you close and plus on block. We learned about 2S shot and wild assault leaving you plus, but doing it into reload is still plus double digits, doing 2 bullets still lets you frame trap, tap dust becomes an easy option, and neutral jumping gives the high-low mix-up easily. When it comes to burst baiting, there are a lot of guaranteed burst points, namely almost any time the gun is out. Specifically, 236S and steady aim are the main reaction burstable points. If they see the gun out at all, they may be tempted to burst, but you can put the gun away if you think they'll try. Since 236S is reaction burstable, you can do RC after it to bait burst, either red or purple RC. And like everyone else, 5K and close slash into jump block works nicely. Try to avoid mix-ups where you put yourself in the corner while they have burst, unless you plan on blocking immediately and giving up the chance of a combo. And if you mash out on their corner pressure while they have burst, immediately roll past them to get bursted mid-screen. If they burst a shot going into steady aim, then you'll get hit. But if they burst a steady aim shot, you'll be able to reload or curse and block. A major piece of his combo theory is looping steady aim shots. After a steady aim shot, do reload and immediately start another shot trying to time the shot for the guard crush timing. You don't need to, but it does more damage and gives a better pop-up for the other shots. This is the main way you can combo hits that are far away enough that you aren't confident you can reach them in time. Use this as you get used to the other combos, and for combos from 6S and 6P. And of course it's great for setting them full screen and restarting the zoning game. To practice this, do a guard crush shot immediately into reload, then go into another steady aim, negative edging 5H to prepare the next shot. Then wait until they recover and the next guard crush shot is ready. Do this to get used to the sequence of inputs, then slowly speed it up until you find the timing to do the shots back to back. If the first shot was a quick shot with curse, you'll have to do multiple quick shots, so it's really worth learning. This is an extension of the essential section, but after 2-3 success, doing 5k dash cancel shot into close slash is a major piece of his combo theory too. After close slash 6k, tying in putting the gun away into 2-3 success is going to be useful for more advanced combos, so get used to it now if you can. To practice it, try to do this combo fitting in 3 gun flips. The next major piece is after 2-3 success, doing 6k into a guard crush shot. This easily gives you enough time to dash in and follow up. Just know you have more time for the guard crush shot than you may think. And you can combine this with the steady aim loops. It's up to you what you prefer. A less used but still good sequence to know is 2-3 success loops using 6k to bridge the gap. Tying this in with the other combo theory parts can lead to great corner carry using less resources. Once you get comfortable with these, you can try to push a little further by fitting in dash up buttons after steady aim shots. Doing dash success into another shot is the most basic extension. Canceling the shot into roll gives a much easier conversion at the cost of being a bullet negative. And now you get a much better conversion even off of a 2k shot starter. Same goes for 2S, though the timing on this is tighter since there's less hit stun when they're grounded. Once you get these major combo theory pieces down, you really can just mix and match as you like. Here's 2 different conversions off of a tap dust starter with what we learned so far. From rolls, since it's more likely you'll be further from the corner, it's generally better to do the 5k dash cancel for better corner carry. When mashing out of the corner, you can combo a shot after you roll and continue close slash 6k until you wall slump them. Or 2k 2d 2-3 success can pop them up to roll and shoot them towards the corner. While it's situational, his optimal combo is close slash into J3k 3 times, then 5k 6s into steady aim shot. This will be your go-to DP and super punish. 2-3 success is your other best starter since it leaves you enough gravity to fit in a focus mid-combo. 5p success is also a great starter, giving you plenty of time to convert with roll for an easy close slash 6k, or fit in a reload for just dash up 6k. If you don't want to commit to the 6s, you can dash 5k after the 5p and piece the rest of the combo how you like. When air to airing with JP, doing 3 of them is pretty stable and confirm with the shot into 6s. For quick steady aim shots when they're cursed, leave the stance with 4s and dash up 6k to start the conversion. This can work from pretty far away, and if you use a guard crush shot, it's easily confirmable. With a fast shot, while running, do a second shot to either lead to a combo or put the gun away and start some pressure. From the IED BRC mix-up, for 2D, go right into a guard crush shot and do close slash 6k into another guard crush shot. If you do 6k instead, go right into 2-3 success. From the overhead, you can go into J3k 3 times, like the optimal close slash starter, but if the wall is already damaged like from a wall slump, you'll only get 3 hits in. Doing steady aim shot loops can wall splat from far away and break the wall with another, but you can cancel the stance directly into super. And when they splat from a bullet, to build a little extra meter, you can double reload and still super, but generally focus or curse is the better option. Keep in mind that you cannot do super if the concentration gauge is red. For counter hits, from 2p if you're close enough you can combo into close slash, though you should just try to convert into a shot. Unfortunately, 2k doesn't combo into itself on counter hit, so make sure to convert with a shot. Counter hit 5p can lead to dash up close slash, but it's generally better to stick with 5p 6s. And with higher level hits like from far slash 2s and 6s, doing the double shot combo gets optimized to only using the guard crush shot since the counter hit slowdown eats the input for the release of the 5-8 shot. This lets you have an automatic optimal starter for counter hits by just doing the normal combo. This is why it's extra important to learn to do 2s shot into steady aim as the main conversion. And you can always do wild assault after 2s into shot with the bonus of the routing from earlier. A unique feature of Farslash is that it has a tumble effect that lets you still shoot them even when they hit the ground, letting you wall break from further than you may expect. When doing BRC in neutral, 2P into Garker shot is a nice way to turn a quick button into a great combo starter, giving resources back. And on block, it leaves you up to +20 while true stringing. From 2K 2D, canceling into curse then shot into focus lets you reset neutral at your advantage while being slightly negative or even plus depending on the delay for the shot. When you're close enough, reloading one bullet into dash close slash dash cancel auto times another meaty close slash. Or you can just OTG 2S into curse. When spaced a bit, 2D into curse lets you run up and threaten an immediate left-right mix-up with roll due to the better tracking. Also, canceling the first reloaded bullet with a dash jump with JK into JS gives a safe jump. Make sure to adjust it to JD if you cross up. If you're going past them, you can do air dash back J2K for the same side option. From corner throw, OTG close slash jump forward into the standard high-low. Doing a 2-3 success loop sets up a safe jump without any bullets used. After wall break, IDFD JS doesn't safe jump 9 frame reversals, but it will safe jump 10 frame reversals. If you're scared of the reversals, doing microdash steady aim will keep you outside of the range of most of them or let you shoot them after the invul wears off. If you did focus before this, then it'll give you the chance to get pressure going fairly safely. If they don't have a reversal, IED J2K into double JP versus Empty Land 2K is a decent mix-up option, though I prefer just doing the JS. That wraps up the intermediate section. Again, there's a lot in here, and not all of this is necessary to know, but I do think most or all of it is worth knowing. If you add pieces from each section to your game plan, that'll be enough to be a good Happy Chaos player in my opinion. Putting the information from this video into practice gives you much more control over neutral, better combos, better mix-ups, and a super wall break game plan to help you create your overall style. The goals I would set are to get a good grasp on steady aim, including using it for zoning, pressure, and combos, add in a metered mix-up or pressure option to your game plan, memorize the major combo theory pieces and work on converting straight hits, and start to create a structure for how you want to play him. He can be a zoner, rushdown, mix-up heavy, or even footsie archetype, so put some time into figuring out your approach to neutral and pressure. The advanced guide will expand on what was taught in the first two videos and add in new topics, so if you're interested in pushing them further, check it out. Thank you for watching.